Welcome to a new series on my channel called After the Review. It's just like what it sounds like, it's after the review. So this is not my full review of the game. I will leave a link down in the description after every After the Review video, and you can watch the full review of the game. What after the review is going to be, it's going to be after I've owned the game for about 2 to 3 weeks. After I've had the game about 2 to 3 weeks, then I'll do an after the review, and I'll let you guys know, am I still loving the game? Is it worth picking up? Maybe I love it more than when I said in the review, or maybe I love it worse than what I said in the review. That's why I'm making these videos. I want to make sure that you're really gonna pay for a game that you're really going to really enjoy, because let's face it, games are expensive. They're not something you can buy cheap. Sometimes when you're paying for a brand new game, $40, $50, $60, you really have to think if it's a game that's going to be for you, because there's a lot of times that I bought in a game and I found out it wasn't for me, and I just lost $40, $50, $60, and I was like, oh, I got burnt out, and this game was not for me. I looked up a lot of information and I still couldn't figure out if the game was for me. So I'm gonna try to tell you about Graceful Explosion Machine. Now, if you don't know what Graceful Explosion Machine, it's an indie game on the Nintendo Switch. It will be coming out to other platforms. It's not a Nintendo Switch exclusive forever. It's a timed exclusive. It will be coming out, I think, on PC and PS4, maybe even Xbox One. Don't quote me on that. But what Graceful Explosion Machine is, real quick, it's a shoot 'em up game. So if you ever played Geometry Wars, if you ever played Gradius, Resogun, things like that, then you'll know what Graceful Explosion Machine. This will run you about $13 on the Nintendo eShop. And here is the main menu of the game. So you got play, which is the meat and potatoes of the game. You have challenge mode, which is a game mode you can play after you've already beaten the levels. I'll go ahead and show you what that is. So here's the four planets, and here is challenge mode. Basically what challenge mode is, you're playing the warps and you're playing score attack. Basically what warps are in the game is basically it's an endless you're basically in one level, and you got to stay in one level for about, I think, 10 to 15 minutes, somewhere around there, and it can get very, very hard. Now, you don't have to play this, obviously. These are something extra after you've beaten the main game, and then once you actually beat a world, you can play the warps. Now, again, warps aren't mandatory to beat worlds, but if you play a world and you play the warp, that's how you unlock the warps for the challenge mode, and then you have score attack right there. So this is just something else besides the main game that you can mess around with if you want to. And then you have options. In the options, you can leave on the in-game tips, controller vibration. If I was to play Graceful Explosion Machine, I would definitely recommend keeping on controller vibration, because in my opinion, this is one of the best showcases of HD rumble on the Nintendo Switch. And then we have screen shake, sound volume, and music volume. And then we have play right here. Here is where the main game takes place. And I will say that I've already beaten most of the game to give you an opinion on it, because this game is very, very repetitive when it comes to playing this game. This game is very, very simple and very repetitive. I'm just going to show you one of the later levels. I think here I'll just do 2-4. One nice thing about this game is you do have multiple attacks. So you have your regular gun like any other shooter, but then you have missiles, and then you have a laser beam, and then you have a sword that goes 360 degrees around your ship. And you can see there's two bars. When I'm shooting my regular gun, I have a bar, and that regular bar pretty much indicates how much I can shoot my regular shooting gun. And then at the bottom, the bigger bar shows how much I can use my specials, whether it be the sword, whether it be the missiles, or whether it be the laser beam. That's how much I can use it, and it will overheat. You can see right now on screen it is overheating, and once it overheats, you do have to wait a little bit of time before it recharges. You can see it recharged, and as you're killing enemies, you do get little yellow gems, and by collecting those yellow gems you see on video or on screen, it does actually refill your bar. The one bar with your regular shooter, you cannot refill with those gems, but it does refill very fast. You can see that on screen, that my regular shooter, you don't need to really refill it, because it really underheats really fast after it overheats, so not a problem there. I'm just going to tell you, is this game worth $12.99? I'm going to be honest with you guys. In my review, I said that I was liking the game. It's worth $12.99. You should definitely go ahead and pick it up. But now my opinion on this game has definitely changed. I was very excited to get this game. I really liked it. I was having a blast. But after putting in about somewhere near 10 hours of this game, I will have to admit, playing this game, does get kind of tedious and really boring. It is a fun game, don't get me wrong, but the problems I'm experiencing is when you're going from level to level or world to world, all the enemies are exactly the same. There's not a lot of enemy variety, and one thing I do not like about this game at all, I don't like the fact that this game has no bosses at all. Come on, you would think that in a game like this there would be bosses, but there's no bosses. The way the game works as well is you have these phases or you have waves in each level, and you got to beat 3 different levels. You can 3 different waves per level, and at the bottom left you have 3 hits for your ship, and that's how you die. So if you take 3 hits in a phase, then you instantly die. The good news is you can start over in the phase. So say you're on phase 2 on level 1, you start at phase 2 if you die. Also at the bottom left, it does tell me how many ships I have. So for each level, you only have 2 ships. So make sure you don't take 3 hits too many times, or you will run out of lives, and then you will have to start over at phase 1. Overall, I just wish this game had more variety and more enemies, and it wasn't so stale. I will say that it is a good game. It depends if you want to pay the $12.99 this game is going for. Honestly, I wish this game would have been a little bit cheaper from the developer, maybe around $10 or maybe even $7. Maybe $7.99 it would be up. I would definitely say for $7.99, go ahead and pick it up. $12.99 is not expensive. It's not like they're charging you a buttload of money for this game, but the problem is if you compare this game to some other games on the eShop like Mr. Sifty for $15 or $16, you're getting way more content, or just way more actiony, just way more stuff, and it doesn't feel quite repetitive and kind of boring after a while. So I just wish the price of this game was definitely different. If they were to improve on this game, first of all, definitely give us more modes, definitely give us some bosses in the game, and don't make the games all a wave-based game, because every level is just a wave base. How long can you beat these enemies and destroy the enemies? They should make it level to level, and each level should be different. It should be like a side-scrolling platformer where each level is different. You're going from one end to the level to the other end of the level, but this game, it just loops around, so you're not really playing levels. You're just playing an enclosed box where you have to defeat all the enemies, and over time this thing gets really boring. I didn't say in my review how many hours you get, and I have played it multiple times in portable mode, and I can confirm to you guys this game gets upward of 5 to 5.5 hours, 6 hours, not sure again, but I was getting way more battery with this game than I was getting than Breath of the Wild, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, because again, this is an indie game and it's not too graphical intense. But anyway, guys, there's my after the review for Graceful Explosion Machine. Pick it up if you want to, but I just want to let you know, after a while, this game will get very repetitive and very boring. Unless you absolutely love this game a lot, or you think you're going to love it, then yeah, it's not bad, but I just wish it was a little bit cheaper and there's way more content. This game does not have a lot of content, and it's very repetitive. Anyway, guys, peace out. I'll see you guys later in my next video. I'm out, guys.